Alright guys, we are on the Genius page for this song now, and I went down to the about before I looked at the lyrics, so it says, ugh. I really don't know how to pronounce that. Like, I know what this, in my head, when I text it, I know exactly it, but saying that out loud, it's kind of hard. Ugh, is a 12 track out of BTS Map of the Soul 7. Did they release like 6 other ones, or is that the full name of it? You know what I mean? Like, is 7 part of the title? And not just a numbered like list. Rap by BTS, Rap Line, RM, Suga, and J-Hope. Now I can't remember. Did I get the 3 right? I know I said 4, but then I replaced one. I don't know. I think I got them right. Known for releasing songs about the hate comments they get, such as Mic Drop, The Dang, and Cypher Part 4. I didn't even know they got hate, to be honest with you. Everything I've always heard online about them has always been like, you know, super fans and everything. A little intro, let's go. Oh, they even annotated let's go. Let me see what this is. Let's Go featured in this song is sampled from a fan-made song of popular Twitch streamer Greek God X. I don't watch a lot of streamers, I don't know who that is. Featuring his voice, the song and sample can be found here. I'm not gonna play the sample. Alright, so Suga was first. Also, you guys said it's without the R, which I think I've been saying it without the R, but maybe my slight accent that I got. I don't know how slight it is. I can't judge my own accent, but it makes it a little hard to say, I think. Alright, so it says, crackle, that ember burns up again. Swallows first before it reaches the oil. So like that, so something tried to light the oil, but it got put out just because the oil overtook the fire. So it's, you tried and you failed, sort of thing. Without doubt, bound to be swept away. Yeah, what the hell? Stems from a biblical reference. Jesus is said to have said that whoever has never sinned should cast a stone at a prostitute woman. The idea being that only if you're perfect can you judge another human being. So Suga is trying to say that some people are quick to criticize BTS as if they have no flaws or shortcomings themselves. What is this referring to, though? I'm a little confused on that one. Let's go to the A. As idols, the members of BTS are often required to present a certain image for the public. Even when provoked with slander and unfair accusation, the company often advises the members to remain silent and not give in to the commentary. Unable to let his true emotions show, Suga describes the repressive feelings that they endure at the expense of maintaining their composure. Swallow the burning fire before it reaches the ember oil, you're bound to be swept away. He's telling himself to suppress his anger before it reaches a point where his anger explodes into something uncontrollable. And then that goes down to the line below, but it says today's player represents the antis and haters that intentionally provoke. He cautions himself that if he takes the bait and engages with these players, he will be played like a neighborhood drum, meaning that he will have fallen for their trap. Lie becomes truth. He tells himself to show no reaction, but by not countering their accusations, he laments that certain truth becomes lies and lies become truths. Okay, so if this is correct, because it's unreviewed, if it's correct, it makes sense. Like, I'm following along. Now, that must be like a whole different world. I mean, I get why they can't directly respond to like hate, but come on, they're rapping, you know what I mean? Part of the rap culture is battle rapping a little bit. It doesn't even have to be like hateful. It's just gotta be like a little friendly, like, all right, let me poke at you since you poked at me. But I get it. All right, today's player is coming in with a number of offenses. Yeah, when it starts to bite, boom, 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 it becomes the neighborhood drum, boom, boom, boom. All right, so today's player is coming in with a number of offenses. Starts to bite, so I don't get the boom part. Suga compares the haters to a player who does not know the game properly and makes a big fuss out of biting his existing ideas, offending others in the act. And then something. Literally means a neighborhood drum that anybody can hit on. It means an easy target to pick on in public. I didn't know that. That's, I'm guessing, a cultural thing. I've never even heard of a neighborhood drum. No one's gonna steal it. It means an easy target to pick on in public. He also uses the Korean onomatopoeia of a drum. That's actually kind of cool because I don't know much about Korean, but I know a good bit about, not a good bit, that's a whole ass lie. I know a little bit about like Japanese kanji and everything, and so I know that a lot of kanji are drawn in a way, or the symbols are in such a way that sometimes they represent what they're talking about. So like a house might look like a house. Is that, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it does look kind of like, I could see that being a drum that you're banging on. Providing visual imagery. of the noisy situation that haters create. Nudge, nudge, touching me for no reason. Nudge, nudge, yeah. If there's no reaction, just soak it in. Splish, splash, yeah. So I'm guessing the nudge, nudge, and the repeated like splish, splash. I'm guessing are those like the background vocals, or was that part of his direct delivery, the foreground? Touching me for no reason. If there's no reaction, just soak it in. I get, like, if I just read it, I understand what he's saying. I'm having a hard time following what point of view he's doing here. Because it's just touching me for no reason. But then it's like, is he saying if there's no reaction, just soak it into himself? Or is he saying that to the other guy? Like, hey, if there's no reaction for me, just soak it in. Or is he saying to himself, like, don't react, basically? The truth may become false, the lies may become true. In this place, everyone becomes someone with perfect ethics and perfect judgment. That's funny. So again, if the previous thing was right, that makes sense. He's basically saying like, hey, I got to keep up this appearance and not attack them back. Basically, try and be, I think, more on the positive side. Which, if I'm reading that correctly, that's what I try and do now. I wasn't the most positive guy my entire life. You know what I mean? Did a lot of partying, a lot of that sort of thing. And so nowadays, I'm trying to turn the other foot, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like if something provokes me or whatever, or somebody says something, just learn to like let it go, like whatever. All right, so RM was the second one. Now because it wasn't in English, it's hard for me to picture who was saying what during the song. So the questions I asked earlier, I would still like you guys to answer, like who was in the certain parts that I mentioned. And if you guys could, if it's not too much effort, maybe do like a callback to the exact point in time in the video, so I know I can kind of picture them a little easier. So RM has frequently shown himself to be a philosophical thinker. Here he acknowledges that I'll come back to that because I think that's going to tell me the whole verse's meaning. Rage, of course you need it. When it burns up, there's always a reason. Mayhaps it's our history. Sometimes it changes the world. I agree with that. Sometimes rage does help. It just depends on, I think the hard part is figuring out when those responses in life, when figuring out when those responses are valid to be used, so to speak, right? Because rage can be used as a defense, if so, you know what I mean? Or it can be used in a negative way where you just fly off the wall and attack somebody for no reason, or you took it a little too serious. All right, so it says, RM acknowledges anger is not necessarily a negative emotion. It can be used to fuel revolutions and important changes that make history. Korean has rage surrounding the overall history, like colonization under Japan and their sour relations due to it, Korean War, and recently impeachment of Park Geun-hye. BTS too went a little aggressive in their approach when they were neglected in their earlier days in favor of other groups and got less recognition in Korea. They went on to make history, changing the global perception to K-pop and became the biggest boy band in the world. You guys told me we can't be calling them boy bands, so downvote for that, man. I'm just blind. But this is not rage, this is excretion. Which one is rage? You know. Okay. Again, I'm trying to do my take before I read into it. So I'm assuming he's saying, like it said there, right? Rage can be good or it can be bad. But he's saying this is not even in that discussion, that conversation. This is us maybe in relation to the soaking in from earlier. Maybe they're soaking in these negative feedback from people and they're just naturally secreting it. I don't know, I'm kind of guessing here. Recognizes the importance of anger throughout. I'm not going to say it one more time. He uses wordplay here with the word buna. When pronounced normally, bunu means rage, but when pronounced as bunyo, it turns into feces and urine. Okay, that's a really close, well, I don't know, actually, I don't know if I even pronounce these correctly. It can fuel motivation, however, here he criticizes those who are filled with empty rage. He especially makes fun of those who are constantly hateful, degrading the pointless emotion as shit. That's awesome. I like that. Pretending it's rage and killing real rage. Pretending it's rage and killing real rage. Fed up to countless number of people, you're not just killing me. We're used to stepping on shit. Look at these people who've grown numb. Excretion, apathy, you guys are a team. Okay. So I guess if I hadn't known that those two words were closely related in the original language, I would definitely be a little confused here. But Okay, I'm following. The word for or that is a word that describes a type of anger that is sudden and explosive. Ugh is the sound of blood rushing in the head. It is something you feel after holding back your anger for a long time until you lash out impulsively. It cleverly translates into English ugh, the expression for disgust or frustration. This also shows how BTS, after enduring hate comments for so long, are showing their anger and disgust at their haters. Okay, that's that's actually cool then. Clever. I definitely wouldn't have understood that there was a double entendre there. But okay, so ugh is the sound of blood rushing in the head, explosive anger, and then disgust and frustration. So basically they're saying that in a way they're trying to say that they're disgusted or frustrated at this explosive empty rage is what he was saying earlier. Like people are just randomly throwing hate toward him for no real reason. I'm raging at the malice-filled rage. Suga and RM reiterate that it's not anger that they're angry about people using against them, but it's the fact that the rage people use against them is malice-filled. Okay. There is a difference. There's justified anger, I believe. I'm not going to sit here and have a huge, long conversation about morals or anything, but there's definitely justified anger. And then there's, he's saying, right, like hate-filled anger. It's just, I feel like at that point it's more projection. They're mad that they're successful because they're not, or they're mad, all sorts of things. But I feel like at that point it's really projection. It's the difference between projection and justified anger is, I think, the two types, really. Raging at the rage that had to die out. Okay, this J-Hope was the third one. Okay. This world, it is taken over by rage. It seems that nobody can live without rage. Raging again, raging and raging, going insane like, ugh. That sounded funny. There are tens of thousands of reasons to be raging. Goodwill and evil will, all the very same. I can rage, but if there were to be damage done to others' lives I don't like, that's stop A. Someone gets hurt at someone's actions. Someone becomes gloomy at someone's speech and behavior. Someone's spur of the moment becomes somebody's moment. Someone's rage becomes someone's life. Damn. I don't know how to say the last part. I thought it was going to tell me what that last thing meant. Yeah, I think this last part is actually the most easily deciphered, though I'm sure there are some little things here and there that I don't get. But yeah, I mean, there is definitely a lot of hate and rage in the world, and it comes from all sides, honestly. Even the best intentions, the best groups are I'm worried a little bit that everything is coming from rage, and feel like it's becoming a lot more of an attack world than it is a defend world. I don't know. Oh, it's a whole nother part I missed. Okay. What the hell is there to be upset about being criticized a bit? You earn a lot. Why are you whining again? You'd have to put up with at least that much. If I were the one told to do it, I would endure it all. I'm assuming, by the way that it's written, is he vocalizing what characterizing the haters, where like that's what they keep telling them, like, hey, why are you so mad that we're insulting you if you're making so much money? And of course in America that's a very common thing. It's like, who cares, he's a billionaire. It's like, well, he's still a person. A whole lot of money doesn't protect your heart, you know what I mean? People seem to think that's the way it goes, but no, man. They just have more money to show off that they don't care, even though they probably do. You know what I mean? Like, if you can go out and buy a Ferrari and drive through a city full of your haters, just like, what's up, motherfuckers? It makes it look like you don't care, but then you go home and like cry about it. You know what I mean? At least that's the way I feel, because I make decent money with my day job, which is working with switches and routers. Boring nerd shit. And I've noticed, or one thing that I've noticed is, the more money I've made doesn't necessarily make me less emotionally, you know what I mean? Like, shit still hurts you the same emotionally, so money doesn't fix that. It does give you a lot of avenues to like ignore your pain, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I can go out and spend a ton of money and just, that's my coping mechanism, but it doesn't get rid of anything. Anyway, so Suga uses a sarcastic voice to portray the haters himself. Okay, so I was right. Who says that they can handle artists' problems better, and artists like them should suck it up because it is their job and they get paid for it. A hum here carries a certain attitude, is more of a sign of teaching a lesson, being a teacher. They pronounce a hum as I'm sorry. Playfully bring in the B him, as in teaching alphabets. Oh man, they're clowning on these dudes. That's funny. It was used mostly by the ruling noble class during the Goryeo or Joseon era, who were superior to other classes in New Chinese and Confucianism. They used ahem whenever they needed their servants or scolded them. It is also used by kondai or boomers who use ahem unchi to their subordinates, which is considered an art, much like emotional intelligence. Subtle signal to tell someone what they want without having to explain it. So yeah, they're what's the right word? They're fathering. Luke, I'm your father type of shit right here. And then it's like that. Okay, so that was those other lyrics were just completely wrong. I think this makes a lot more sense. And like I said, I just love the delivery of this song. And you could hear the emotion in it, and it perfectly matches what I read here. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, that's the lyric breakdown of sorts. Let me know if I missed anything important, and just if there's some cultural thing that I missed even reading all through that. So if you guys like that, subscribe, like, comment, all that, and just let me know what other songs to react to. You guys already did do a lot of that, so the list is pretty long, but feel free to throw yours in and I'll get to it eventually. Yeah, catch you guys in the next one.